So before I get into the main story of this video, let me tell you about this quick incident. A woman was dog sitting for a family who were on vacation, and she sent a video to the family to show that the dogs, they were happy and alive. However, one time she sends a clip to the family and she gets this response. The cops came and checked the house. No unlocked doors or windows. No one was in the house. She took the dogs to her house until the family got back. Here is the clip she sent. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have Snapchat? You know, I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's an app. All the kids are into it. Kids, what will they think of next? Do you know that phones have cameras in them? But really, we all know we can take hilarious pictures with the filters on Snapchat. Look at them. Look at all the fun I'm having. But in today's story, some guy in Australia caught something very scary on his Snapchat. This story comes from Reddit, titled "Took a Snapchat for my friends. Something is in the background that has me freaking out." Okay, so off to a great start. So let's get into the juicy tale. The event started about 2 hours before the original Reddit post, and there is a backstory to it. So the story goes that Skinner, the storyteller, not his real name, just his Reddit username, obviously. Skinner and his partner recently moved back into Skinner's childhood home with his parents, while Skinner and his partner's own house was being built. You know, to save some cash and not have to pay for a rental. Makes sense so far? Now, Skinner's parents own 3 Australian native birds, and earlier Skinner was updating his Snapchat story to show the birds off to his friends, as many of them always ask about the birds.
Is a rainbow lorikeet. His name is Oliver.
That night, Skinner was home alone, and he took 3 Snapchat videos, one after the other, and just put them on his Snapchat story, without worrying about retakes or anything. Just 3 Snapchat clips on his story showing off the birds. This is where things start to get creepy. About 15 minutes after uploading the videos to his story, Skinner receives a text message from one of his friends. Now, Skinner had no idea what he was talking about, so he went to rewatch the clips a couple of times. On the 3rd or 4th watch, he saw what he was talking about, and he started to have a panic attack. He immediately saves the story videos and put them onto his computer to see them larger. In the last Snapchat video he sent, it kind of looks like someone is at the door, looking in, with their hands cupped against the door. It's hard to tell because Snapchat videos are very poor quality, and the door is only in the frame for about 1 second. Whatever is in the 3rd Snapchat video, however, is definitely not in the first one when the door is in full view. Skinner was the only person home at the time, and that particular door leads to the backyard, which is only accessible via a single locked gate. There was no glass in front of the figure. The door was open until where the curtains are. All that was between the room and the backyard was a fly screen sliding door. So a reflection is almost out of the question. Also, all 3 videos were shot back to back. Probably 10 seconds at most between each video. Now here's the backstory where things start to get even creepier. Oh, and don't worry, this story gets creepier and creepier. We are only scratching the surface, people. From about 8 years old to 10, Skinner had episodes of sleep paralysis, where it felt like a weight was sitting on his chest and he could not breathe for about 40 seconds at a time. This led to insomnia and anxiety about bedtime. Then at about age 12 or 13, for seemingly no reason at all, he started to get chronic episodes almost every night that lasted minutes to tens of minutes at a time. During these episodes he could breathe, but he could not move. The worst thing about these episodes, however, is that he felt like something was in the room with him and meant him harm. At roughly age 14, things really took a turn. Then he started to hear and see things. The things he heard were never too crazy or over the top, usually just thuds and creaks. However, when it came to seeing things, there was always one recurring vision. A faceless person looking in his bedroom window with their hands cupped to the glass. When he moved out at age 18, he never had another episode. Whatever was in that Snapchat video looked exactly like what he used to see as a teenager in his nightmares. So you can see why that might scare the living shit out of somebody. And that was only part 1. Things really start to get messed up now. I'll tell you all in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Mike out. Just kidding. We're getting into it. So the following 3 days after the Snapchat videos, nothing happens. Then boy oh boy does it get worse. Friday night comes around. His parents left the house at 7 p.m. and then his partner left the house at about 8:30. Things were grand and he was just playing some games with friends on Steam. This went on for a few hours. Then at about 10:15 p.m, shit went down. He starts to hear some relatively loud banging, loud enough that he could even hear it through a headset. It was coming from outside the screen door. Yeah, the door in the Snapchat videos. It was definitely something scraping or banging around out there. He then gets up and films using his phone. When he started filming, the noises immediately get louder and more frequent. He didn't want to open the curtains in case someone was right outside the door in the dark. So he walked through the kitchen into the laundry and turned the outside lights on. The only way in or out of the backyard is down the left side of the house. So as soon as the back lights were on, he walked over to a window on the left side of the house that looks out at the only easy escape route. At this point, something loud occurred from outside the opposite end of the house. This scared the absolute shit out of him, so he circled the house to stay out of the light and filmed that window from a distance for a couple of seconds. He then turns on the internal light in the kitchen and filmed out the back window for a few more seconds. He couldn't see anything, so he stopped recording. After the video, he kept all lights on in the house and stayed away from all windows until his parents got home. So then he uploads the film, and things start to get really freaky when people start to examine the video. A Redditor enhances the film. That big mass in the corner is not meant to be there. And also, that figure is not there at the end of the video. Here's the picture. Skinner can see that area from where he's sitting as he wrote this. How did whatever that was get out of the room? He was standing in front of it for a good 15 seconds. A lot more Redditors enhanced the video to see what the hell it was that was there. Now, he did call the police after this, but they didn't want him talking too much about everything. But they believed that a two-man team tried to rob his parents while they were away. This kind of seems kind of far-fetched, and even the police were freaked out by the video. So what they think happened is this. When one got in and realized Skinner was home, his buddy tried to make noise to lure him outside, and when it didn't work, he slipped out. Skinner has a few problems with this theory, the main one being that all the doors and windows were locked from the inside when they came. So how did these guys get in? The cops think that maybe one guy came in through the roof. That would mean that whoever slipped out behind him towards the end of the video had to slowly walk up the stairs and go into his parents' room and climb into the roof, all the while he was right under them. Here, I think, is the most pertinent advice. Get out. It's really creepy, huh? And that's the end of the story. It's pretty terrifying. I mean, let's be honest, it's on the internet, who knows if it's real or not. There's a good chance this is all just bullshit. But still, it's a terrifying story nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, Mike out.